Just started it. All right. That's not what I want to be. Self-sabotage versus self-motivation, everybody. So this is something that's really big in beginning and progressing through fitness and nutrition, right? Everybody has experienced both sides of this. Most of us have experienced self-sabotage a little more and a little longer without realizing that we have with the presence of bad habits. So here we go. The meaning of sabotage: deliberately destroy, damage, or obstruct something, especially for political or military advantage. Power lines from South Africa were sabotaged by rebel forces. It's a verb, y'all. Everybody understands what sabotage is. Motivation: the reason or reasons one has for acting or behaving in a particular way. Also, an escape can be a strong motivation for travel. We all experience different forms of motivation. Sometimes you just don't feed into it the way you should. Motivation is a very strong root to the tree of success. Where does sabotage begin? If y'all see, this is a picture of me. I was in my friend EJ's wedding. I was 290 pounds in that picture. This is one of the times where I was self-sabotaging, okay? I ate everything in sight. I had a lot of negative, pessimistic thoughts, a lot of negative self-talk, and on the exterior, you couldn't tell, but internally, I was fighting myself every day. Where does sabotage begin? First of all, it starts with a pessimistic mindset. Does everyone know what pessimism is? That's a question for everybody to answer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
A pessimistic mindset can be stronger than an optimistic mindset if you allow it to be. It can tear you down. It can tear everybody else down around you, which creates a ripple effect. And it's also going to put you in a place that sometimes if you stay there too long, there's no coming back. The presence and norm of bad habits, right? When all of us, including myself, including Matt, when we started this program, Matt made me be a mock client before I became a coach. But I had bad habits, even though I had cleaned up a lot of them, one of my worst habits was eating. I had an appetite. I felt like I had to eat to be full all the time. I was upset. I go find something to eat and something to watch on TV to make me not be upset. But all it actually did was suppress those feelings and make it worse. So the next thing I know, I look up and I look like this. And this is not how I ever wanted to look. Angelo just jumped in. Listening to "you can't do this" comments. Now, how many of you all have had people tell you you can't do this since you started this program or since when you wanted to start something positive? By raising hands. How many people listen to it? Honestly, at some point in your life, right?
Yeah.
What happened when you listened to it? What happened? Some of y'all can
It was like pressing rewind. It was like going backwards.
Yep. And you took it. You was like, dang, I can't do this because I'm not where I should be to be able to do this, right? But you got to be able to build up to that, correct? The absence of support. This goes hand in hand with listening to "you can't do this." This means you don't have support. The absence of support is you by yourself, or you might be the type of person that don't ask for help, right? Too prideful to ask somebody to help you do this. Too prideful to ask somebody, hey, I'm trying to get in shape. Can you go to the gym with me? Or the support of the house, right? You might have a spouse that doesn't want to eat right. Does that mean you don't have to eat right because you got to give in because they don't want to? No, you can all, well, look who it is. There's Walker. You got to, at some point, whether you the husband or the wife, the man or the woman in a relationship or in the household, you got to put your foot down. Like, hey, you can eat that bullshit, but I'm not going to eat it, right? You cannot get sleep, but I'm going to get some sleep. regardless of what you do. Huh?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Hey, Walker's speaker's on. Walker, mute yourself, buddy.
Hey, what's up? Sorry, I'll turn that off.
Right?
Making a presence.
I guess he was. So
You know, I just wanted everybody to know I was here. But better late than never. I was at practice. So.
It's good you here, buddy. It's real good you here.
Oh, he announced you're welcome.
I sure did. So with the absence of support, what follows that is negative self-talk. You know, negative self-talk follows all of this. That falls into a pessimistic mindset, bad habits where you say, well, fuck it, I've been animated this far and I'm okay. I guess I can accept this. No, that's not acceptable. You know what I mean? Or listen to, you can't do this. Then you start saying, dang, I really can't do this, right? Or telling yourself, I'm fat, I'm gonna be fat for the rest of my life, or I'm unhealthy, I'm gonna be unhealthy. I can't go to the gym. You know what I mean? The excuse part, right? Then the absence of self-esteem and self-confidence. This is very key. And I say this is very key in the manner of mental health, because this can render you from doing a whole lot of stuff. And I'm not just talking about nutrition and fitness. This can make it where you push people away from relationships, you go into debt, you give a subpar performance at work. Taliban, chill out. You give a subpar performance at work, you don't get a raise because of it. These are all things that make you say, I'm gonna give up. I'm not even gonna try, right? And all my clients, and Matt, all know that I don't like the word try. You either doing it or you're not. It's black and white to me. You either do it or you don't do it. Trying means I'm procrastinating. No, you're either gonna do it or you're not, all right? Okay, go to the next one, please. There we go. Where motivation begins. Now, this is a picture of me when I was at my fittest without being in a program. I was happy. I got a lot of compliments. I was in a different headspace. You couldn't take anything away from me. You couldn't upset me. My anger was gone, which was weird. And I woke up with a smile on my face every day. You know, and that started with me having an optimistic mindset, you know, using I can statements, I'm going to statements, I'm doing this statements, you know what I'm saying? I'm better at this than I was yesterday. You know, I got a tattoo on my arm that says, be better than yesterday. I started living by that creed every day, and it made everything better. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean I swept stuff under the rug that I dealt with the day before. No, I dealt with that shit. If it was negative, I dealt with it with an optimistic mindset, meaning I was being positive. I found positive in everything, no matter how negative it was. My support system. Sometimes your support system, right? Support system of some kind. Sometimes your support system comes out of left field from somewhere you don't even realize. Mine didn't come from home. Mine came from Good Life in my boxing gym. You know, hearing people saying, telling me they were motivated by what I did. They loved seeing that I looked happier. My skin looked better. I was smiling bigger. You know, they wanted to know what I was doing, you know, and that was my first indication that maybe I should do what I'm doing now. And like I said, these are people that I only see when I go to the gym. That was my support system. You know what I mean? That the accountability there. You know, the people are paying attention. I'm inspiring people, you know, but at the same time, goes to the next thing. You got to be ready for change. You know, all of us have started this journey for some reason, but we wanted something to change, right? Didn't like who we was, didn't like where our life was going. You might have had health issues where the doctor was like, hey, you need to get your nutrition in line. You need to lose some weight. You need to get to moving. You know what I mean? Matt will tell y'all the body's meant to move, not to sit still. I actually felt better being sore from lifting weights than I did from not doing anything. My body was killing me all the time. Positive self-talk. Like I said, Julie, I've talked to you about this before. I've talked to a few of my clients. When I was in mental health, I gave up a 15-and-a-half-year career in mental health. And the one thing I took from it was this mirror therapy I had to do, where you had to tell yourself, you had to look yourself in the mirror and out loud There's Alyssa. Okay. You had to look yourself in the mirror and out loud admit who you really are. So you had to tell yourself, it started with 3 good things and then 3 bad things. Mute your phone, Alyssa. Thank you. And a lot of people don't understand the power in that. When you're able to look at yourself and admit your own flaws while you looking yourself in your eyes, that's a start to be able to start talking positive, right? Who can tell me one positive thing they had happen to them today?
I walked in the cold.
What did you tell yourself before you did that?
I'm gonna do this shit no matter what.
There it is. There it is. That's positive self-talk. Give me another one.
I passed my CSCS today.
Yay!
You passed your test?
Yeah, I'm a certified strength and conditioning specialist now.
Hell yeah, bro. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What did you tell yourself when you took that test?
So dead serious. Something I learned way back in high school. You know, they talk all about your power poses. I sat before I went in to take my test. I probably looked like an idiot, but I sat in the chair sitting out there, hands behind my head in a power pose, and just kept repeating myself, you got this. You got this. Because I was nervous, man. I feel like it's something I've been studying pretty hard for, but I paid a lot of money for, and it's a big certification. So it was a continuous, I got this, follow with the power pose.
And look what happened. Both of y'all succeeded when you did that, right? That's where it starts at. You know, that was the tree. You don't feed a tree from the top, you feed it from the root and it grows up, correct? Right?
Sure.
There it is. Another one, this goes with motivation, a reason to push. You know, my reason for this is I want to be 100 years old and still training and still physically running and still physically lifting and possibly punching people in the face still, including my boxers at the gym I work at or I run. The other one was the picture I showed you before when I was in the tuxedo and I was big. I never want to be like that again. That was the darkest place I've ever been in my life. And I didn't realize it until I came out of it. And did it hurt to come out of it? It hurt like a sumbitch to come out of it. But that hurt was a lot less than the 6 years I spent getting to that point. Drive for success. The drive for success means no matter what, you're not going to stop until you succeed. Walker just did that with his test, right? Mindy just said she walked in the cold. I don't know about y'all. Even though I'm from the Midwest, I hate cold weather. I don't like it. I don't like doing a lot in the winter. Fall's my favorite, but winter can kiss my ass. I have to deal with it, but that's okay. You know what I mean? So what I do in the mornings, like it's getting darker in the mornings now, it's harder to get up. What I do is I get up at the same time, but I turn on all the lights in my house. Then I'm awake. And then if I can't get awake after that, I step outside in my basketball shorts where it's cold and I wake up. But you got to have that drive. Turning sabotage to motivation. This is where basically what I'm telling you is you got to check yourself, right? When pessimism knocks, optimism answers. So when you start hearing that, oh, I'm sore, I can't do this. No, you made it a priority. You're going to do it. Or, dang, them nachos sound real good. No, they don't, because they don't fit in your macros. So you don't eat them. You know what I'm saying? You got to think short-term satisfaction versus long-term satisfaction. Which one's going to be better? You know what I'm saying? If I eat these, it's probably going to set me back a couple pounds, right? We've all done that. We're all human. That's why I always tell my clients, if it's something that you love to eat or do, and it keeps you from succeeding, then you either need to minimize it or get rid of it, right? Matt talked about sacrifice on his story the other day. Some people aren't willing to sacrifice some things, and one of the reasons you're not willing to sacrifice is because it's your norm and you're used to it and you know how it feels and you've accepted it. Who's Reese Myers? Matt.
Walker's client.
Reese is one of my clients. He's the man. What's up, Reese?
Let that guy in.
He was just in and then he just asked to be back in. What's up, Reese?
Not much. My internet is so bad.
All right, I'm gonna continue, y'all. Now you got to think this one also. No plan set in place. Evaluate your time and make a plan. Saying I don't have time to me is very difficult. Very difficult. If you have less time than the other person, then the next person, then that means you need to prioritize the time that you do have a little differently. You know, like some of us are only gonna have 45 minutes to work out. Some of us gonna have 3 or 4 hours. Okay, that's cool. So if you got 3 or 4 hours, that means you got more time to spread your stuff out to do it, right? If you only got 1 day of the week to meal prep, you need to time block for you to be able to do that so you can be successful. Don't make excuses saying, well, shit, I ain't got time. Yes, you do. You got to make time. You make time for the things you want to. When you go on dates, you make time for that. When you go to a wedding, you make time for that. So you can make time to make yourself better so you can continue to help others be better. Okay. Feeling defeated. There should be an ED at the end of that. Remember your why. Remember your big why. Why did I actually choose to do this? So that's key in you being successful. Sometimes you got to repeat your big why to you more than like daily. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when I got fat, to me, I was fat. I was 290, 295 to be exact. I kept telling myself, you're not going to be fat no more. You done being fat. I used to say that every day. And that's how I pushed through it. And it hurt. You know, it was days I threw up at the gym almost. It was days I passed out. I didn't give a damn. I kept going. Wanting to give up.
Can I add something to that?
Yep.
With the remembering your why,
Mhm.
it just for other people to remember it's okay to change your why.
Yes, absolutely.
You don't always have to stick to that same why just because as your life changes, so do your priorities.
Yeah, exactly. And then your big why might be the reason you started, and then you get started and now your why changes. You're right, Sarah. That was a good point. Very good point. Wanting to give up, use your support system. How many people have an actual support system? Desi, who else? Some of y'all got your cameras off, so I can't see you.
This is our support system, our big group chat that we have on Voxer.
Yep, that's one of them. But what if you don't got Voxer? What about at home? What about your workout partner? You know what I mean? What if your support system is your kids? You know what I'm saying? You don't want your kids to fail. I guarantee you, everybody on here that has kids make a big emphasis on their kids' grades, right?
Yes.
So you're a hypocrite if you're telling your kids to get good grades, but you're not going to be successful also, because they're going to learn it from you. Because eventually, especially now, you tell your kids you need to do your homework so you can be smart, and they're going to say, well, you need to go run on the treadmill so you don't be fat no more. How you going to take that?
I'm going to say you're right.
So you got to lead by example, right? It's up to the parents to make sure that the kids see that. Kids are sponges, right or wrong. They pay attention more to what you do than what they hear you say, right? And other people are like that as well. Don't want to do the work. Remember where you were prior to and never go back, right? Religious people even hear that. You hear them talk about the narrow path. Don't stray away from the narrow path. Don't look away from it. No point of looking behind you if you're moving forward, right? Who drives down the highway and looks in the back seat the whole time?
Nobody.
Huh?
Well, I said nobody.
Nobody.
It came off me.
Nobody. And then one of the big reasons you're not going to do it because you're afraid that you're going to run into something. So use that same fear of going backwards. Don't go backwards. You know, if you feel yourself going in reverse, step on the gas pedal and go forward a little harder. Hearing you can't. This is one of my favorites. When somebody tell me you can't do that, yes, I can. You don't get to tell me what I can and can't do. Remember, you can and you are. We're not trying, we are, right? Even though these programs are set up for a certain amount of weeks, these weeks are the roots of you having a better life for the rest of your life. Not just you don't just get the results in 16, 26, 56, 52, however many months you get or weeks you have with the program. You don't just start where you were, get better in those amount of weeks, and then it's Here's all my results. I don't have to do nothing now. No, you got to keep doing it, right? Which is why it's key for a lot of people to stay on it, because if they go on their own, they can't do it. I'm trying. Replace with I am. I'm trying. Replace with I am. Like I said, in my eyes, trying means you're procrastinating. You're thinking about doing it. You're not doing it. I am means I'm actively doing it. You have to do it every day.
Yeah,
Sometimes nonstop.
I want to add to that too, Coach E. So the wishy-washy bullshit, like I got on a call with one of my clients the other day. I'm like, how many workouts have you done this week? Oh, just one. I'm gonna try to get one more in today, or hopefully I can. Like, no, that's wishy-washy bullshit. Like, if you think you can, then you probably can do it, right? So instead of telling yourself, I'm gonna try, or thinking about it, like, no, I'm setting that shit hard in my calendar or whatever, and it's happening. So like, I had another client, like, I think I'm gonna try to do this day and this day. I think I'm gonna try to get up from my workouts instead of that. No, you're not. You're making a freaking plan and you're doing that. There is no, I think I might do it here, I might do it there. No, it's literally how many days a week are you working out and what time are you working out? And that's time block, just like Coach E. Time blocking is huge, guys. If you don't know what time blocking is, everybody needs that in today's age. You need time blocks. You need to go, I wake up in the morning, I do my meditation, this time to this time. I take my kids to school this time, like literally put it in your calendar, right?
Schedule
this time to this time. When you have that, you made the agreement with yourself that you're going to do that. And is every day going to be perfect? No. But having that in there, set your schedule, sets you up for success every day. So no wishy-washy bullshit. It's you're going to do it or you're not.
Exactly. And everyone I've talked to on here has heard me say what? Speak it into existence. The power of words. You have to speak it into existence. Don't think about it. Do it. That's the same thing with the mirror. You have to say it in order to get through it. You will be surprised how powerful that is. And this ain't the first time I did this. When I did the Big Why a few months ago, I talked about this. So I'm telling y'all, try that. It's oddly powerful. And tell yourself, like I said, I have this tatted on my right arm, right here. Be better than yesterday. That doesn't mean lollygag through the day and be like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, like Matt said, which is a procrastinating statement. No, push to be better every day. I don't want to be like I was yesterday. Do I still have the same heart? Yeah, that kind of stuff, yes. But as far as like my life progressing, I'm better than I was yesterday. No matter what happens, no matter what you throw at me, I'm gonna succeed because I said I'm going to succeed. All right. Book of the month. Unfuck yourself.
Why you gotta cuss?
It's right. You was just saying bullshit. Now you talking about I'm cussing. So I've listened to this book on Audible. The guy has an Irish or a Scottish accent, but the stuff he says is very powerful. It goes hand in hand in what I was just talking about. When me and Matt talked about me doing this month's presentation, the first thing that went through my head was mental health. I've noticed this with a lot of my clients where locking in has been difficult for some of y'all, and finding a reason to push through, you know what I'm saying? And not getting sleep and not being able to eat how you should and making an excuse. Well, I didn't get to meal prep. Well, that don't mean you can't calculate the food that you pick outside the house. You can still type that shit in your MyFitnessPal and it'll tell you whether you should have it or not, based off your macros. So I don't want to hear that excuse. That gets kind of frustrating on my end. I eat out 2-3 times a week. I don't eat out like I used to. I just don't post the food. Or maybe I should start posting some of my meals. I had Taco Bell 2 days ago. I lost 2 pounds. I hit a low yesterday at 233. And that was after eating Taco Bell. But it fit inside of my macros. I haven't had Taco Bell in a year almost. I had it Monday and I enjoyed the shit out of it. And I lost 2 pounds the next morning.
We all know why you lost the 2 pounds though. Taco Bell, come on.
No, I hit my macros on a T. That's why. It's the work. It's the work. Last week I had Honest Abe's. I lost a pound that day. It fit my macros, just like a lot of people will say, well, I got a wedding this weekend. Okay, save your macros for the wedding that day. You want to drink, save macros for your alcohol. A lot of people like beer.
And right there, what Coach E is talking about is what makes this a sustainable long-term solution, guys. Because the cutting the carbs, the trying to eat clean, all like that shit ain't working long-term. I'm telling you that right now. We're not telling you to go out and eat shit all day long, but we're also telling you like, hey, you got to have that stuff. That stuff's not going away. There's no way you're going to block yourself off from the rest of the world eating that stuff.
Yep.
You have to do it in a responsible way. We call it eating like an adult, not eating like a kid, right?
Yep.
AKA don't eat like an asshole. Make a plan.
Yeah.
Stick to that plan. If you want something, like you said, you got to be prepared for the weddings, the birthdays, the vacations. Those aren't going anywhere. They don't need to go anywhere, but you need to change your approach to those situations. And when you can do that, it's a game to be played, and it's an easy game to play, and it's fun. It makes it fun. You go, shit.
Yep.
My buddy's on keto over there, and he hasn't touched a piece of sliced bread in 3 months.
See, and then you have people that's out around you seeing you eat just like them, but you look better than them.
Yeah, that's a win right there.
That's a win right there. And you have one portion and they have 4. And then I can't stop eating it. Well, the food controls you and you don't control the food. So who's really winning in this situation? I got friends that like to make jokes. Instead of complimenting you, they like to make jokes. Oh, you think you tight because your shirt fit, huh? Yeah, I do. Ask me why my shirt fit. Why yours don't? Why we wearing the same size shirt and mine look better than yours? You know what I'm saying? I work out for my mental health, the longevity of my life, and to be honest, so I look good naked. I want to make my clothes look good. I don't want my clothes to make me look good. Right? Sarah Button. What was your big why? Yep, I'm putting people on the spot. What's your big why?
Well, my big why has changed multiple times.
Yeah.
And for years and years, I was uncomfortable to look at myself in the mirror, and I'm not anymore. So that is to be able to look at myself in the mirror. Like you said, like being naked, being able to, I used to be that person that would always look at myself in any reflection that I walked by, but never liked what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
And now when I catch myself in a reflection, I'll stop and look again like, yeah, I like that. So I want to keep that up.
There it is. There it is. Sarah Button, how about you?
So my big why is my kids. I have 3 little kids, 9, 3, and 1, and I want to be able to run around with them and have a ton of energy because they have a ton of energy. So that's why I want to do it.
There it is. Who else? Don't be shy. Ain't no bashfulness. We grown. Talk. This is your mirror. Alyssa?
Okay. My big why is I don't want my daughter to see my family history continue and thinking obese is normal.
That's deep. There's deep because obesity has a very pessimistic mindset. Yes, it does. That's a form of I gave up.
Mm-hmm.
Alyssa?
Yes.
What's up, buddy?
Hey.
Hi. What's your big
Hi. Well, my big why was originally to go on this cruise in January, but it had been canceled. However, being a cardiac nurse, I see a lot of issues that come with obesity and cardiac health. So that's kind of switched gears of my big why.
Nice.
I want to hear Reese's big why.
I was just about to ask Reese. Now, get out my head, Matt.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. My headphones are playing games with me right now. My big why? Well, I mean, obviously, who doesn't want abs? You know, I grew up in a household where my dad was a personal trainer and my uncle was a competitive bodybuilder and my buddy was a competitive bodybuilder. So that always kind of pushed me, but kind of let it go. And after a while, I was just like, you know, there's never a day when I'm gonna wake up and be like, yeah, this 2-hour workout is gonna be way easier than the last one. Like running 5 miles, it's not supposed to get easier because you're supposed to run it faster the next time. But I mean, like nothing ever gets easier. And I just figured, you know, one for my career, so I can fulfill that duty to my the highest standard. And then I'd say my second big why is just like my future wife and kids. You know, I want to make sure I'm physically there, able to be there for them, able to take my kids out and play sports and stuff like that. Because I don't know who said it, but I had a rough, like just as far as genetics goes, a lot of like illness and obesity, stuff like that. So trying to flip it around.
That's one of mine, actually. Cancer runs rampant in my family. I've lost 12 family members to cancer, and my sister just beat cancer. So I want to make sure I don't have to worry about that. Tammy, what about you? Can you hear me, Tammy?
She's talking. Somebody's
Yeah, she's
talking.
talking. You got to unmute yourself, Tammy.
Unmute yourself. There you go.
There
Hey, Coachy,
Hey.
are you asking my big why? Well, after tonight's Zoom, I kind of feel like I need to change. Well, not need to, but I think I want to change my why. My original why was I'm a cancer survivor, still on treatment, but a cancer survivor. And I've lost a lot of friends to cancer. And I just feel like my original big why was they're not here and I need to do this like in their honor. But I think that I need to do it for me.
That's deep. I like that. That means you're going to do it, correct?
I'm going to do it. Yes.
It is. What'd you say, Mindy?
She can do it for both.
Yep.
Thank you, Mindy. Yep.
It gives you even more of a why.
Thank you. Yep. Very true.
Julie, you ain't exempt, neither are you, Melissa and Colin. Or
this is so this is gonna be deep, y'all. I live with an alcoholic narcissist, and I'm doing this to gain confidence for myself, gain confidence for my son who is obese and is learning how to eat better and exercise. And I'm doing it so I can get the hell out.
Just so y'all know, we got 2 cancer survivors. Desi's a cancer survivor also.
Yeah.
Angelo. So is he still on?
Yeah, sorry, I was muted.
There
I
he
was
is.
trying to talk. I'm here.
There
Yep.
he is.
Yep. 10 years. 10 years.
Man, that's amazing, dude. And you look great. Your before and after pictures are great.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's
Yeah, my why is to not go out the way my family did. You know, I mean, listen, we're all going to go out the same way, right? There's only one way out of this life, but I want to be as healthy and as medication free as I can be. You know, and I want to make it. My mother's mother lived to be 94. She died roughly 6 weeks before her 95th birthday. She smoked when she was in her 20s and 30s. She drank a glass of red wine every day of her life, never had a surgery. Her medications were basically just vitamins. She never worked out, but she was always very active. And, you know, her kids, my mother's siblings and my mother, they all, you know, cancer, heart disease, very inactive lives, obesity, you know, I've seen it all. seen it all. So it's like
You're like-
I don't want to go out that way. So, plus 12 days marathon, 12 days. My why is to beat those 26.2 miles to the ground.
You gonna do it. You gonna do it. Walker just did one.
Stop fighting.
Where did you run?
Alyssa,
Alyssa.
Sorry.
oh, good.
Where's
Yeah.
Walker at? Walker, how far did you run in your marathon?
I think Walker
we
did
lost.
that.
Did
Yeah, I
he
think we
do
lost
13? Did he do half or a full, Matt? You remember?
He did full.
Yeah, he
He
did
did
it
the
full.
whole 26.
I did two halves. I did a half in 18 and a half in 19. I tried to get those to count as a full, but they told me it didn't. So.
Melissa Terry, I want to hear your big why. Melissa's like one of my longest standing clients along with Angelo. So I gotta
Yeah,
hear.
I mean, I was doing great until this summer, right? And then recently, a month ago, getting over COVID, and it's still just like kicking my ass. My biggest thing is it's a lot of repeat. There's a lot of illness in my family. I have an uncle who is ridiculously large. My mom is pretty large. My grandmother, we watched her die very horribly, and she was huge and couldn't get out of her chair. And I also have two boys, and one of my boys has spina bifida, and he's in a wheelchair, and being able to take care of him is pretty hard, like carrying him around. So it's a lot of feeling good about myself, but I need to be able to take care of my kid. You know, he's only 3, so I need to be a caregiver probably for forever for him.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you. How about you, Trina or Estella?
I'll go. My big, I have probably several whys. My family's longevity is really long. I have family on my dad's side that's gone into their hundreds, and my mom's side, they've all lived to 90s, and none of them are large. I am, in my intimate family, I'm the largest one in the family, and understanding why it is that I chose when I made the decision that I wanted to be fat after sexual trauma, and I was just a little girl. I never understood growing up why I was the fat one in the group, why I was the obese one. Like I was, but I would always eat also until my stomach hurt till recently. So I'm like, do you really want to get rejected, bitch? No, you don't. And so, like now I don't that unhealthy person. And my daughter passed away in a car accident. It's going to be 11 years in January. And that sent me spiraling down. My life was just everything from making beds to being organized to running a business that I had been profitable in for at least a decade before that. Everything spiraled down. And I caught myself about 3 years ago, and I started looking at things that are in my way. And right before Coach Matt reached out to me, I woke up one morning, and I wake up and I pray. So I woke up like when, your fire alarm goes off, like I was up and adrenaline was running through my body, and I can be a little spaz. So yeah, that's not totally unnormal, but the first words that I heard in my subconscious was, "You're not honoring my temple. You're filling it with disease, and you will not live your higher calling if you end it short." And it jolted me. And I started praying. I went to one dietitian, and it wasn't for me. And then Matt reached out to me on a message, and my big why is I want to get to see my great grandkids, and I want to fit the profile of my family, and I don't want to feel like I don't belong anymore. I'm done with that.
Yeah, girl.
Anybody else? Matt, what about you?
How you gonna make me follow that up?
Easily, because we ain't never heard yours. I want to hear yours. Come here.
So I think my big why is leadership. So if you guys know anything about me, I'm very big on leadership. Like I teach my daughters about leadership. I try to teach all of you guys about leadership, because at the end of the day, everybody's a leader, whether you want to be or not. Especially if you have kids, especially if you're in charge of people at your job, you know, especially if you have other family and friends that, you know, look up to you or could possibly look up to you for doing something that they couldn't do. So I think that's always my biggest why, my biggest thing in the back of my head when I want to eat the bullshit or, you know, skip a workout. I typically don't want to skip workouts, but just self-sabotage. It's just like, well, I'm telling everybody else to do this and they're seeing me do it. And if I don't do it, then they're not going to do it. So really you guys are my big why. Because if I truly believe if I don't do it, you're not going to do it. And it's why I make all my coaches do exactly what they're telling you to do. Because if they're not doing it, why should they tell you to do it? So it's just, it's an integrity thing.
Taliban wanted to say hi to everybody.
Taliban.
You good now?
Taliban.
All right. Peace out. All right. That book, y'all, that I've listened to that book twice now. That's a pretty dope book. I'm not even gonna lie to you. If you know me, I'm not big on reading. I get bored with reading real quick. I have to read in increments. So I get it on Audible. And it caught my attention right away.
It's an awesome book. I listened to it on Audible and then I went out and bought it. And while I was at the bookstore, it has a workbook that goes with it.
Really?
Totally worth the purchase, you guys. It's one of the best books I've listened to on Audible and then read.
Unless
he also has another one that's he's also got a couple other books and they're awesome too.
What bookstore?
Barnes and Noble.
Okay, I was like, which one? Like, is it just the one here in Lincoln?
Yeah, I got it in Lincoln at Barnes and Noble.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What do you want?
And it's probably the most popular Navy saying in the history of ever. I mean, I can't walk around base for more than 10 minutes without hearing some higher ranking somebody yelling at somebody who just got here to unfuck themselves. So the second I saw that, man, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm having like all these boot camp flashbacks. Having sending me on a trip.
It's definitely a military thing, that's for sure.
It is.
I've heard it as a wife, so.
I've heard it as a basketball player. So mine came with a shut the in front of it. Not a UN. Well, anybody got anything else they want to ask?
I have a comment that I want to say, because even though I do wake up and do a short prayer and say thanks, I also used to wake up with my cell phone in my hand. And after listening to your video, Coach Matt, to meditate and to do, you know, to find gratitude and find something to be grateful for. I actually went to, like, you know, God aligns things for me because I don't understand shit once. I don't, you know, I don't have a high degree of education, but once you put me to it and I get it, I'm a fucking beast and I cuss, I'm sorry. It's never intentional to hurt anybody's feelings. It's just the way I talk. And so, you know, I started waking up with gratitude and I started feeling this incredible feeling every single day. I just started feeling better about things because it wasn't like a superficial, thank you God for my life. Watch my mother live a long time, give her energy, you know, watch my son. It was more like, what am I grateful for today? You know, and so I went in and I did a little bit of research on gratitude and I read that if there's a scan of the brain in the bottom part where your conscious level is, that area lights up when you have gratitude. And even after you have had gratitude for 30 minutes, that area is still lit up. And so if you think something negative afterwards, that area, the light goes away. And half an hour later, that light is still away. So I started thinking about how I'm an addict. Like I was unintentionally like an addict since I was like 12. And so I started thinking of how our brain works, right? Like, how do people become addicts? It's chemicals. How do people become alcoholics? It's chemicals. You know, and I've kicked. I mean, I'm not using drugs anymore, but I did for a long time in my life. And so I know what it's like to quit. And I know I'm addicted to food because I want to binge. I want to like, I've been good for 3 days. Now it's like, I want to attack everything. And I'm like, stop, Stella. So I started thinking about how the chemicals are addictive. So now I'm having an addiction to being grateful because it also releases a chemical in your body. I think it's either dopamine or serotonin, my little sign that I always carry with me, but it releases a chemical in your body. So if you focus on what chemical you want to release in your body, you can have an addiction to anything. So you can't.
Prime example of prime example of turning self-sabotage into self-motivation. That's dope.
Absolutely. All you have to do is replace the bad habit with the good habit, which my life has changed over the last 3 years because I've replaced multiple small habits every year, taking on small, stupid little challenges like getting the dishes done. Just the feeling that you get of completion when you wake up in the morning and not having like the stress of, damn, I got to do the dishes, and feeling negative when you see that, and feeling positive, being like, damn, dishes are done, gotta go, let me get my day started. Like you can become addicted to having that great feeling when you wake up in the morning. And the same thing follows with being able to have gratitude and like analyzing like, wow, I've increased my income twice, 40% just by the way I think. I worked less just by the way I think. And now I'm waking up in the morning and I'm finding so much more love and so much more acceptance, which I always search for rejection and I still get accepted. And, you know, and all these feelings that I'm feeling every day, because all I'm doing is having 5 minutes of gratitude, you know, versus praying and saying, I'm still praying, but, you know, versus just a short, I don't know, just like a very vague prayer, actually analyzing what I'm grateful for. And I'm grateful for a lot of great things, and things are happening. I just went to Chicago. It wasn't planned. My cousin invited me a few days earlier and I said, oh, the tickets are so expensive. I'll myself, I never deserve anything. I tell myself that you don't deserve anything. Well, now when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, you deserve the best. You've worked hard. You grind all your life. You deserve the house. You deserve the car. You deserve private education. You deserve everything that you want, because, you know, it's only a work away from it. It's only a creation away from it. So create it. And now I feel so intensely good. It's crazy. Thank you. I wanted to say.
Yeah, and one thing that you guys might not have caught with all that, so that's huge. I mean, that's a huge growth mindset hack. But one thing too to pay attention to is she's just started this program, guys, and she's going back and listening to all the recordings of all of these, okay? So if you're new and you haven't been on all of these yet, or if you've missed some, you need to go back and watch the recordings, because that stuff is all gold. And I'm not saying that because I'm the one that created it. I'm telling you, this is like a mini course in how to make yourself better every single day, right? Like we laid it out, the foundations of everything that I've learned in the last 10 years about your foundation, macros, extra, like literally everything that I've learned, guys, it's all out there for you, but you got to do it, right? So like when Coach Walker sends you guys those videos every week, fucking watch them, okay? Because you paid for that. It'd be like going to college and paying for the college and not showing up to class. Like you'd be pissed if your kid did that, right? But you guys are doing that.
And the professor still gets paid.
Right. So I know they're hour long half the time, right? You can speed up the videos. That's what's great about technology. So it could literally take you about 20, 30 minutes to watch. But like you guys gotta watch those. Like we're not sending them to you to, you know, I want to say waste paper, but it's all digital, right?
Or waste memory.
Or waste the coach's time. The coaches take time they gotta send all that stuff to you. So like follow the program how it's supposed to be laid out and get every single resource. I just had a girl sign up the other day and she's like, oh my God, there's so much resources in here. I've never seen anything like this. She was very grateful for all that we had to offer, right? Because she's been through the bullshit. She's been through the bad trainer. She's been through the bad programs, right? And then she sees this and she's like, this is fucking great. And a lot of times you don't realize what you got till you get some shitty stuff or you don't have anymore, right? So like take advantage of all that, because She is going to learn a lot, and she's probably going to be miles ahead of some of you guys in the next coming weeks. Because when you do things like that, you just put yourself all in, and when you're all in, the results are coming a lot quicker. I promise you that.
To make it convenient to you. When Matt had me watch videos, I did it on the treadmill. So I had something to pay attention to. Or when I'm driving back and forth to Omaha, I'll play it so I'm listening to it. You know what I'm saying? Do it while I've even listened to some of the videos while I'm cleaning my house. Put my headphones on and do it. You know, I'll retain information like that when I'm focusing on more than one thing, which is weird. So.
And a lot of times, you know, you just pick up like little gold nuggets, you know, like there's little sentence that just changes the way you think, you know, and that there were three powerful things that I saw in that video. They just resonated with me and they clicked. It's like a time machine. It's like, you know, I could do it on my own in 5 years, or I can do it listening to a video and 1.5 speed faster in 40 minutes or 30 minutes. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for doing it.
2 things. My phone's gonna die, guys.
Yeah, I'm about to get out of here too.
Yeah, about to get out of here.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so one thing from the videos, Matt, the one thing that I tell people that I remember from you, if it's not in your food bank, you got to think about his money. You don't have it, you can't spend it. So that's one thing I go off of, and it's huge. And I tell people that all the time. I'm like, track your foods. It's not there. It's not there. Don't eat it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, it's almost like second nature. So when he upped my calories, it's like, holy crap, what?
Like you hit the lottery.
But you ate them.
I'm doing it. But
You and Sarah both.
But the other thing is it's kind of ironic, Eric, because today my therapist just gave me that assignment, look in the mirror and basically write on my mirror or put sticky notes on affirmations, like to help with changing my thought process of how I see myself. I'm supposed to say, you know, things that I see about myself that are positive, not necessarily appearance either, just everything. So I'm supposed to sticky note my window, my mirror, and read them every morning to myself. So ironics.
Yep, it works. Trust me. Trust me.
We're gonna do it.
All right.
Hey guys, thanks for being on here. If you guys showed up, you guys are awesome. Like that's what it's all about. Showing up to these calls, you're gonna get a ton out of them. Keep showing up, keep doing what you gotta do every single day. It's the small little baby stuff that we do every single day that adds up to those big wins every week, every month, every year, right? So
Yep.
Keep making those, laying that foundation, and you guys are gonna be where you want to be.
And some.
I'm out of here, guys. See you.
I see everybody later. Have a good night.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys. Thanks, everybody. Bye.